What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Little Juice channel, and welcome to WWE 2K20. That is right, boys. We are playing some wrestling games. Here's a little backstory about me. I have been a wrestling fan for probably over a decade. I've been a wrestling fan since 2007 is when I started watching wrestling. So like a decade and 3 years, 13 years probably. I've been a wrestling fan. So, and I've watched everything. I've watched WCW. I've watched Ring of Honor. I've watched NXT. I've watched New Japan. I've watched Independence. I've watched all the independent stuff. I've watched old stuff, NWA stuff back in the day. I've watched it all, WWE obviously. So, I mean, I have seen a lot of wrestling content, and I've watched a lot of YouTube stuff on wrestling content. I'm a big fan of wrestling stuff like Dank Ops. I am a fan of Dank Ops' channel on YouTube. CM Pulse, his channel. Brandon Does Everything, BDE. I'm a fan of those channels on YouTube. I watch them all the time. So I'm a big wrestling junkie, you could say. And it's about time I put some wrestling content on my channel. So I know that's WWE 2K20. I know 2K20 has a lot of glitches. It's not a good game, but it's the only game that I have that has servers up. I was going to play 2K18, but 2K18 servers are down. They took them down. 2K took the servers down. So, and I do not have 2K19 as of right now. So we're going to be playing 2K20. Now, we're not just going to be playing some regular play now, or we're not going to be playing 2K Originals. We're going to be playing, or My Player. We are going to be doing a universe mode. And I have set up the universe mode to almost exactly the way I want it. I think there's a little bit left that I have to do, but I figured I might as well get this video out right now. So if you guys are super excited for some 2K20 universe mode, make sure to smash that like button and the notification bell and the subscription button while you're down there. It takes a few seconds if that, and it really helps me out. I really do appreciate it. And let's get into some WWE 2K20 universe mode. Now, as we get into it, you can see that I have set up the shows. I have Monday Night Raw's first week of matchups ready. We can go into that right now and look at the matches. Now, I don't want to do that yet because I'm going to show you guys. That was a little sneak peek of what I've got going on here. I have a lot of stuff to get through in this video. There's not going to be any gameplay yet. That's going to be in the next episode when we start Monday Night Raw Week 1. This is just going to be like an overview of everything that's involved in this universe mode, what you guys can do to help, basically everything. So, and then I'm going to tell you how the schedule works, because hopefully if I can get it right, hopefully when we go to calendar, as you can see right here, we have a jam-packed week, every single week of wrestling content. And here's what I was trying to say. If I can get it right, hopefully every video will come out on the same day that these are airing. So we have obviously Monday Night Raw on Mondays. SmackDown is going to be on Tuesdays. NXT on Wednesdays. And then Super Showdown, actually Super Showdown is what I've named it, is going to be on Thursdays. And we'll get into all of this later in the video. But obviously, Monday Night Raw will be on Mondays, so hopefully the video for Monday Night Raw that week will come out on Monday. And then obviously Tuesday we'll get a SmackDown video, Wednesday we'll get an NXT video, and Super Showdown on Thursdays. So as long as this quarantine comes and is good, that's the schedule. Who knows what's going to happen once the quarantine is over and I get back to a regular work schedule, because I won't have near as much free time to do these Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Super Showdown videos each and every day. So as of right now, that's what the schedule is. Monday Night Raw on Mondays, SmackDown on Tuesdays, NXT on Wednesdays, Super Showdown on Thursdays. And then you obviously got your pay-per-views that come out on Sundays. Now, I know I don't upload on Sundays. but I will upload one video on Sundays for the pay-per-views. So a week that has a pay-per-view like this, the third week. So in 3 weeks, Bash the Beach will be the first pay-per-view to go live on Sundays, and that'll be live at around probably like 8 o'clock or something, like maybe 7 o'clock when actual pay-per-views go live in WWE and stuff. So let's take a little bit and explain what's going on. So let's go to edit shows. Here are our shows. We have Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown, Wednesday Night NXT, and Thursday Night Super Showdown. Now, let me explain a little bit about each of one of these shows. Monday Night Raw has, here are the championships for Monday Night Raw. We have the old school John Cena spinner belt WWE Championship, my favorite WWE Championship of all time, my favorite Intercontinental Championship of all time, the classic 2006, 2007 Intercontinental Championship around that time, the old school World Tag Team titles that were in the 2007 era, and then we got the current Raw Women's Championship because I couldn't find a women's title that I really liked on the Community Creations. And then we got the current Women's Tag Team titles. So those are the championships for Monday Night Raw. Tuesday Night SmackDown, we have one of my favorite championships of all time is the World Heavyweight Championship. Just the gold belt. I love that so much. It's so clean, so crisp. So we got that championship. The United States Championship, the old school WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which every time I see those titles, I think of Paul London, Brian Kendrick. I think of Deuce and Domino. That era of tag team titles is what we got going on here. The current SmackDown Women's Championship. And then I found, I found a new different version of the women's tag team titles. So that's going to be the women's tag team title championship doesn't make any sense, but championship for SmackDown. So each brand is going to have their own tag team division for both men and women. So that's why the roster size is so big. And then we got NXT over here. We got the current NXT Championship, the North American Championship, the Tag Team Championship, the Women's Championship. But we also have the Cruiserweight Championship and the North American, or the UK Championship. So NXT's got a lot of titles. That's why they have 76 people. So I know that the roster size is a lot for each one of these rosters, and probably a lot of these guys and women aren't going to get a lot of showtime. But I'm going to try my best. You'll see later on how big the pay-per-views are going to be and how big the shows are actually. So how many matches are on. So the number of matches right here is not like indicative of what it's going to be later on. So I'm just going to keep it as 9 matches right now. But we got one more show to see. We got Super Showdown. Now we have the old school 2000s, 99 around there, Steve Austin Championship. When I see this belt, I think of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So that's the championship, the main championship for Super Showdown. We got the ECW Championship, the World Championship for ECW, as the secondary championship, kind of like the Intercontinental Championship almost. And then we got the European Championship. The TNA Tag Team title belts are the tag team titles for this show. I just like the design of the TNA World Tag Team titles, so I picked them. And then we got the old school Trish Stratus Lita Women's Championship. Every time I see that title, that's who I think of. And let's get into the actual rosters. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Super Showdown, you may think, what is that? Like, why does Juice have Super Showdown? He is going to tell you. But first, I want to get into tag teams. So we obviously have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I kept a lot of the tag teams that we have that were in the game already, but I added a bunch from Community Creations. I used up almost every single spot of the Community Creations create a character little thing. I have one spot left. So I know who I want to get. I just have to wait a little bit to be able to download that person. So Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, Authors of Pain, the Bella Twins, the Christian Coalition, which is Christian Cage. I downloaded a Christian Cage character, not just Christian from WWE. This is Christian Cage from TNA. We got Buddy Murphy and then Lance Archer as Christian Coalition, and they're on Super Showdown. We got Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. We got the Dudley Boys, who are on Super Showdown as well, Devon and Bubba Ray. And also, Bubba Ray also has a alternate attire for Bully Ray, so that when, if at possible, or if at all, the Dudley Boys break up, then Bully Ray can become, Bubba Ray can become Bully Ray and become a heel and do all that stuff that he did in TNA and stuff. That's my favorite Bully Ray, or that's my favorite version of him, is Bully Ray in TNA. So we got Gallows and Anderson, who are on Raw. The Hardy Boys are on Raw. Heavy Machinery is on SmackDown, Otis and Tucker. The Iconics are on SmackDown. The Kabuki Warriors are on SmackDown. LAX, Latin American Exchange, which is a TNA tag team, but I don't have Hernandez or Homicide. I have Alberto Del Rio that I downloaded. I have Andrade. I have Angel Garza, I think is what his name. I can't really remember. And then I have Luchasaurus. So this is a very mixed tag team, very mixed group. They're going to be on NXT, and I'm very excited to see what happens with LAX. I'm excited to see what they do, what Andrade does, who becomes the head of the stable and stuff. And I know you guys are wondering, Legacy is down here, but it's not the Legacy that you know. It does have Ted DiBiase and Randy Orton in it, but there's no Cody Rhodes. It is Brian Pillman Jr. and Davey Boy Smith. Or not Davey Boy Smith, David Hart Smith. Excuse me, not Davey Boy. That's his dad. David Hart Smith, the son. So this is Legacy, the new and improved Legacy. Obviously, I wanted Randy Orton to be the leader because he was the leader of the original Legacy, and I wanted one person of Legacy to be in it, and I already have something planned for Cody, so you'll see that later on in this video. But Ted DiBiase was the other option, so I picked him, and then I needed some other people, so I just picked a bunch of juniors. So Brian Pillman Jr. and David Hart Smith is the other member of Legacy, and they are on Monday Night Raw. And then we have Los Guerreros. We have Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero on Super Showdown. They're going to be a tag team there. The Lucha Brothers, Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. are on NXT, so that's going to be an exciting tag team to watch down there in NXT. Lucha House Party still on Monday Night Raw. Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and I forget that guy's name. I don't know. I don't remember his name. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I debated whether or not to keep them on as a tag team or separate them, and I just decided to keep them as a tag team. So they're on SmackDown. Mustache Mountain still on NXT. The New Day is going to be on SmackDown. Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi. The Outsiders are on Super Showdown. Super Showdown. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. It's not Diesel and Razor Ramon. It is Kevin Nash and Scott Hall from WCW. Paul London and Brian Kendrick. You know how I mentioned Paul London and Brian Kendrick earlier when we were talking about the titles? Well, this is why. Because Paul London and Brian Kendrick are on SmackDown going after those titles. The Revival are going to be on Monday Night Raw. SCU, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian are going to be on Super Showdown. Now, I do not have Scorpio Sky because I could not download him. There was a little bit of a problem. I could not get Scorpio Sky downloaded, so it's just Kazarian and it's just Christopher Daniels for right now. Maybe if I eventually get Scorpio Sky, then I'll add him in here and put him in SCU. But for right now, it's just these two. I was going to name them Bad Influence like they were in TNA and stuff, but they're just going to be SCU for right now. Street Profits are on NXT. The Undisputed Era is obviously on NXT. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. The Usos, down since day one-ish, are on Monday Night Raw. The Viking Raiders are on SmackDown. The Wolves are on NXT. That's right, we got the Wolves. We got Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. They're on NXT. And we got the Young Bucks on Monday Night Raw. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Monday Night Raw for the Young Bucks. So that is every single tag team that is in this universe mode right now. You guys can leave your comments down below if you guys want me to add another tag team once I go through all the roster and stuff. Or if you want me to break up a tag team if you don't like the fact that maybe I have the who was I talking about? Oh, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, or the Iconics. Maybe you don't want the Iconics. Maybe you don't want the Hardy Boys to be a tag team. I don't know. But Then let's go to superstars. So actually, no, this isn't how I want to do it. I don't want to do it like this. I do want to bring up one thing though. There is only one champion currently in this universe mode. None of the other championships, as you can see, I have the Immortal Championship too. I can show you all the custom championships that I have. I have the AEW World Championship, the AEW World Tag Team, the Immortal Championship, the one that Jeff Hardy had when he was an Immortal in TNA. Obviously the Impact Tag Team Championships, the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, and the Women's Tag Team Championships for SmackDown. So I have these titles mainly because I have other ideas that I want to use these titles for, but there's also the possibility of changing up championships later on. Like, say Jeff Hardy turns heel and wins the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw or something, or on SmackDown, wherever he is. Then I can use this championship to replace it, and then he carries this championship out, and he's a heel, and he's immortal, like stuff like that. So, and say somebody wants to change the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship to the Impact Championship, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, so then they can rebrand it as that. So things like that. And I know you guys saw up there, I showed it a little sneak peek. The only champion that I have crowned currently in this universe mode is Triple H as the World Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown. No, none of these other championships have anybody crowned on them, so that's going to be all dictated at the pay-per-views and maybe on the shows later on down the road. But the reason that I have Triple H crowned as the World Heavyweight Champion is because in real life, when they brought back the World Heavyweight Championship, Eric Bischoff, when he brought it back on Raw, he gave it to Triple H to be the first ever World Heavyweight Champion. So I figured, why not make Triple H the World Heavyweight Champion, the first ever World Heavyweight Champion in this universe mode? So I was like, okay, so Triple H will be the first ever World Heavyweight Champion in this universe mode. So that is what it's going to be for right now. And then we'll just decide who else is going to be in the championship picture later on as we get down the road in the shows. Now, I want to show you guys each roster. I'll just show you guys all the people that I have. I'll go to custom superstars right now. I have the Fiend, obviously. So I'll show you guys every guy that I've downloaded so far. You saw Alberto Del Rio. I have Aliyah from NXT. I have Angel Garza. Aaron Stevens used to be formerly known as Damian Sandow. Austin Aries. Austin Theory. Brian Cage. Brian Kendrick. Brian Pillman. Brody Lee, which is formerly known as Luke Harper. Bubba Ray Dudley or Bully Ray Dudley, Cameron Grimes, Chavo Guerrero, Chelsea Green, Chris Benoit. Now, I know this is a little bit of a controversial one, but Chris Benoit is going to be on Super Showdown, and I don't know what he's going to do, but I like Chris Benoit. I'm not going to focus on the fact that he murdered his family and himself. I'm not going to focus on that. That's off the out of the ring kind of stuff. That we don't need to focus on that. We're just going to focus on the Chris Benoit, the wrestler. So that's why I picked him. Moving on, we got Chris Jericho, Chris Masters, Christian Cage. You saw Christopher Daniels. You saw CM Punk is going to be on Monday Night Raw, and you'll see later on in the video what he's going to be involved in the first week of Monday Night Raw. Then we got Cody Rhodes, Devon Dudley, Darby Allin, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Davey Richards, Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Edwards. Dustin Rhodes might be one of my favorite character models from these creations, just because he looks so good. Like look at that. It looks like legit like what Dustin Rhodes looks like. Eddie Edwards. We have Old Man Edge. We also have Young Edge in this universe mode. So I have the option to retire Edge for a little bit and then bring him back as this version of Edge, but who knows what's going to happen. El Generico, or maybe some of you know him as Sami Zayn. El Phantasmo, Michael Elgin. You'll see later on that this isn't the real Michael Elgin that we're going to use. Frankie Kazarian, Hangman Page, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Jake Hager, James Storm, formerly known as Jack Swagger, if you didn't know. James Storm, Jay Lethal, Jay White. I got a lot of J's. Jeff Cobb, Jeff Jarrett, Joey Janela, Joey Ryan, John Morrison, John Moxley, Jordan Devlin, Juice Robinson. I don't know why I can't say that. Juice Robinson from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think he's the current IWGP United States Champion. I'm not 100% sure on that. Jushin Thunder Liger, Kane from 97, Kaylee Ray, Okada from New Japan, Kenny Omega. You think I would go with a universe mode without Kenny Omega? You'd be wrong, baby. You'd be absolutely wrong. Killer Cross, Killian Dane, Kota Ibushi, Kushida, Lance Archer, Matt Jackson, Marty Scurll, Luchasaurus, Leo Rush, Matt Morgan, Matt Sydal. This is the Michael Elgin that we're going to be using. The other one I just used for like his ring attire and his face model. So this is the Michael Elgin that we will be using. We got Mil Muertes, Orange Cassidy, Nick Jackson, Mr. Kennedy, or Mr. Anderson, however you want to look at it. The best heel in the business, MJF. Pac, Paul London, or Pac, however you want to say that. Paul London, Pentagon Jr., Prince Puma, which is going to have an interesting, he's going to have an interesting story down the road. I got something big planned for him. We obviously have Ricochet on the Monday Night Raw roster as well. We got Ryback, we got Rob Van Dam, Rich Swann, Ray Phoenix, Sami Callihan, Sammy Guevara, Scarlett Bordeaux, Scott Steiner, Suicide, who has his old Suicide attire and his current Suicide attire, which is pretty sick. Spike Dudley, 2010 Sheamus, Sean Spears, Tama Tonga, Taya Valkyrie, Ted DiBiase Jr., Tegan Knox, Umaga, Ultimo Dragon, TJP, Tessa Blanchard, Walter, Will Ospreay, and Zack Sabre Jr. That is every single person I have downloaded so far to be in this universe mode. And as you can see, we have one spot remaining for somebody. Well, we're going to have two because I'm going to delete the other Michael Elgin, the one that I don't need anymore. This Michael Elgin, we're going to delete him. So I'm going to have two spots left. So probably one for Scorpio Sky when I download him, and then one for a mystery guy that I have big plans for. I just have to get him downloaded. So that is every single custom superstar that I have. I didn't even show you guys like the actual rosters and stuff. Like, let's see. Let's go not to Triple H. Let's go to the top. And we can go to Akam, Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox, Austin Aries, Baron Corbin, Becky Lynch. Let's see, who else is on here? Brian Pillman Jr. is obviously on here. We saw that already. We got CM Punk. We got Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw. Dana Brooks here. Davey Boy Smith, Dash Wilder. Saw those guys already. Eric Young's on Monday Night Raw. Finn Balor, along with his demon version, is on Monday Night Raw. Grand Metalik's obviously here. Heath Slater's here. Jeff Hardy's here. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso are on Monday Night Raw. John Cena and John Morrison are on Monday Night Raw. Juice Robinson is on Monday Night Raw. Kalisto, Carl Anderson, Kushida, Lacey Evans, Lince Dorado, that's what his name was. I couldn't remember his name. Luke Gallows. We got Matt Hardy and Matt Jackson, Matt Morgan. A lot of Matts on Monday Night Raw. Mojo Rawley's here. Naomi, Natalia, Nick Jackson, Nikki Cross. Who else is on him? Prince Puma, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Razor, Ricochet, obviously because Prince Puma's here. Ronda Rousey's on Raw. Rusev, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Scott Dawson, Seth Rollins, Shelton Benjamin, Taya Valkyrie, Ted DiBiase, Umaga. And that's the Raw roster, except for there's some downloadable superstars I think that I didn't get. Did I get all those guys? I think I got all of them. So that's Monday Night Raw's roster. I'll just go back out of that. SmackDown. We can show the SmackDown. We got AJ Styles, the house that AJ Styles built. We got Aleister Black. Who else is here? Asuka, Batista, Bayley, Billy Kay, Bo Dallas, Brian Kendrick, you saw, Carmella. We got Charlotte, if I can find her. There she is. She's got so many versions of herself. We got Charlotte. Chris Jericho is on SmackDown. Curtis Axel's on SmackDown. Daniel Bryan's there. Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, EC3, Edge. Both Edges are on SmackDown. Elias, Ember Moon, Eric. We got Goldberg on SmackDown. That's going to be big. Ivar, Jake Hager, Jay White, and Jay Lethal both on SmackDown. Jeff Cobb's there. Jinder Mahal. Who else is here? A lot of guys not up here. Kofi, obviously, for a New Day. Liv Morgan, Mandy Rose, Maurice, MJF, and The Miz, both on Monday or on Tuesday Night SmackDown. Paul London, Peyton Royce, R-Truth, Robert Roode, Roman Reigns, Scott Steiner is on SmackDown, Shawn Michaels 97 is on SmackDown, Sonya Deville, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tama Tonga, Tamina, Tegan Nox, Triple H, obviously, because he's the world champion, Tucker, Xavier Woods and Zack Ryder. That is all of the SmackDown roster. We go to NXT next. I can't wait to show you Super Showdown. That's going to be big. We got Adam Cole. We got Akira Tozawa. We got Alberto Del Rio, Ali, Andrade, Aaliyah, Angel Garza, Angelo Dawkins, Apollo Crews, Daivari, Austin Theory, Austin Aries, Aaron Stevens, Baron Corbin, Bianca Belair. It's basically all the young guys. Bobby Fish, Brian Cage, Cameron Grimes, Candice LeRae, Cedric Alexander, Chad Gable, Cesaro, Chris Masters, Chelsea Green, Dakota Kai, Davey Richards, Darby Allin, Drew Gulak, Eddie Edwards, El Phantasmo, Hangman Page, and Jack Gallagher, Humberto Carrillo, Io Shirai, Jackson Riker, Joey Janela, Jordan Devlin, Johnny Gargano, Cassius Ohno, Keith Lee, Kaylee Ray, Kyle O'Reilly, Leo Rush, Luchasaurus, Mark Andrews, and Maria Kanellis, Matt Riddle, Matt Sydal, Mia Yim, Mike Kanellis, Montez Ford, Noam Dar, I think is how you say it. I don't know who this guy is. Oni Lorcan, but he's on the NXT roster. I don't know how long he's going to be on the NXT roster, but Pentagon Jr. is there. Pete Dunne, obviously, is there. Ray Phoenix, Rhea Ripley, obviously. Rich Swann, Roderick Strong, Ruby Riott, Sammy Guevara, Scarlett Bordeaux, the smoke show of NXT, Scarlett Bordeaux. Shayna Baszler, obviously. Sin Cara. Anybody else? Tommaso Ciampa and Tony Storm. Tyler Bate. Velveteen Dream and Walter. Will Ospreay. And Zack Sabre Jr. and Zelina Vega are the NXT participants. And now we move to Super Showdown. This is where it gets fun. We've got nobody down here until we get to, you saw the Big Show. He's the first man. Then we got Bobby Lashley, Booker T, Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Bret Hart, Brody Lee, Bubba Ray Dudley, Buddy Murphy, Chavo Guerrero, Christopher Daniels, Christian Cage, Devon Dudley, Dustin Rhodes and Dusty Rhodes, Eddie Guerrero, Frankie Kazarian, The Fiend, is on Super Showdown. Harper's on Super Showdown only because Brody Lee is there as well. James Storm is here. Jeff Jarrett, John Moxley, Joey Ryan, Jushin Liger, Kane 97, Okada, Kenny Omega, Kevin Nash, Killer Cross, Killian Dane, Kota Ibushi, Kurt Angle 2001, which is my favorite Kurt Angle, except for maybe Kurt Angle from TNA. But Kurt Angle 2001 is my favorite Kurt Angle, so he's gonna be on here. Let's see, we got Lance Archer, Lars Sullivan, Lita, Mark Henry, Marty Scurll, Michael Elgin, Mickey James, Mil Muertes, Molly Holly, Mr. Kennedy, Nikki Bella, Orange Cassidy, Pac, Paige, Randy Savage, Ric Flair 88, Rob Van Dam, The Rock, Ryback, Sami Callihan, Scott Hall, you saw. Shane McMahon is there. Sean Spears, Sheamus, Spike Dudley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Sting 99, Suicide, Tessa Blanchard, Trish Stratus, Ultima Dragon. Did I say Undertaker for SmackDown? Because Undertaker's on SmackDown. I don't know if I said Undertaker for SmackDown. And that is it. But that is my favorite roster just because of the championships that I picked for it and because it has the most interesting cast of characters. So that is every single roster that we've gone through for this universe mode. Now, I want to show you week 1 of Monday Night Raw. We have John Morrison going up against Juice Robinson, and that is going to be kind of a number 1 contender, maybe not a number 1 contender, but kind of move up the rankings for the Intercontinental Championship. Then we have a promo from Lacey Evans, and then she gets interrupted by Natalya, and she's going to have a match with Natalya. And then we got a Fatal 4-Way, another kind of Intercontinental rankings match with Shelton Benjamin, Austin Aries, Eric Young, and Heath Slater. Then we got Umaga versus Finn Balor. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, kind of a WWE Championship rankings match. Tag Team Championship rankings match with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Nia Jackson, Tamina. Ricochet versus Rey Mysterio. I just wanted to see that match. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy versus the Young Bucks. Men's tag team title match. Rankings match. And then we got the WWE Championship will be on the line. John Cena versus CM Punk for the vacant WWE Championship. So after week 1 of Monday Night Raw, we will know exactly who will be the WWE Champion. So that is week 1 of Monday Night Raw. Let's go through the calendar. I didn't really show you the calendar very much. I told you about the days of the week for the uploads of each show. We got the first pay-per-view, which is Bash at the Beach. Now, Bash at the Beach will be Super Showdown's pay-per-view. So each one of these guys has a different pay-per-view. Well, Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown share their pay-per-views. NXT has a pay-per-view, and Super Showdown has a pay-per-view. So Bash at the Beach will be the first pay-per-view to go live on this channel. It is Super Showdown's pay-per-view. It'll be live on the 3rd week of Sundays. Then we got Money in the Bank. Then we move to June, which NXT TakeOver UK comes to the channel. Then we got No Mercy, I think this is, yeah. So any of the pay-per-views that are like older or they don't really fit anymore, those are usually the Super Showdown pay-per-views. Then we got Backlash in June, NXT Rival, Extreme Rules, and Judgment Day are the pay-per-views for July. NXT TakeOver, what is this? NXT TakeOver Florida, it looks like. Orlando is going to be for NXT SummerSlam, and then Unforgiven, Hell in a Cell, NXT TakeOver Toronto, and Bad Blood are the pay-per-views for September. October has Clash of Champions, War Games, and Insurrection. Clash of Champions is Monday. Yeah, that's what I thought. Did I put... Okay, never mind. Insurrection. And then we have TakeOver... Wait, what? Oh, I'm going to change this. I accidentally put TakeOver Toronto twice. So I'm going to change that for the next episode. But that's in November, so I have plenty of time before that. And then we have Survivor Series and Vengeance. In December, we have TLC, NXT TakeOver Tokyo, and Armageddon. So this might be my favorite month because we have TakeOver Tokyo, which is going to be pretty impressive. That's going to be played at that's going to be at the New Japan Arena in the Tokyo Dome. And then we have this pay-per-view right here, which you can't see because for some reason the little title of it is glitching out right now. So, but it does say New Year's Revolution. That is going to be Super Showdown's pay-per-view. Then we have the Royal Rumble, which I haven't decided yet if I want everybody to compete in the Royal Rumble or if I just want Raw and SmackDown to compete in the Royal Rumble. I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do there. I got plenty of time to decide. We have Elimination Chamber and Great Balls of Fire. I have not finished this yet because I have to put an NXT pay-per-view here. I have to put an NXT pay-per-view here, and I have to put everybody's going to be on this one, on WrestleMania, obviously. So moving on to December to February, we have Elimination Chamber and Great Balls of Fire. March has Fastlane and Rebellion, along with an NXT pay-per-view to be decided. And then we have April, which is WrestleMania. So we have NXT TakeOver New York, which is their version of WrestleMania. And then we have WrestleMania for the rest of the rosters. So that is the calendar. It's obviously not done yet. I had to still put in a couple more. NXT pay-per-views to fill out the rest of those months. But I think I've gone over everything that I wanted to talk about. We don't have any rivalries yet. I was thinking about setting some rivalries just to get started, but I decided not to, at least not yet. But I've gone through superstars, I've gone through tag teams, championships, rivalries. I've gone through everything on the shows, I'm pretty sure. Edit the championships. Money in the Bank. Each roster has their own Money in the Bank. So Raw and SmackDown have their own Money in the Bank briefcase. SmackDown or Super Showdown has their own Money in the Bank briefcase, and NXT has their own Money in the Bank briefcase. So that is big. So that's another little interesting thing for Money in the Bank. All these guys are gonna have 9 matches on their show, and then the pay-per-views will have 14 matches to try to get everybody involved. And I'm pretty sure that's everything. I'm pretty sure that is every single thing that I needed to talk about in this episode. And then obviously on Monday there will be a Monday Night Raw. So you guys need to have notifications turned on so you don't miss Monday Night Raw. And in the comments, you can let me know if you want to see anybody make some big moves, or if you want to see anybody get traded to a different brand. If you didn't like how maybe I don't know if you didn't like how John Cena was on Raw, and maybe you wanted him to be on Super Showdown, then we can definitely talk about discussing that. I want it to be like an open dialogue. So like, you guys are obviously the WWE universe, and I am the general manager, but I will obviously take into account what the universe says, just like in real life, how they listen to the audience and stuff. So I will listen to you guys, and I will consider what you guys have to say. I will take it into account, and maybe it will eventually take shape in this universe mode. So that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys are as pumped as I am to see this universe mode take off. I am excited to start recording these episodes for you guys, and they will be out on the specific days. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell, hit that like button on this video, try and share it to the rest of the YouTube community to get the word out there that the universe mode is here officially. And hit that subscribe button as well to join the Juice Clan. So yeah, that is everything. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you stop by on Monday to see a Monday Night Raw episode that you will never forget. And I will see you guys in the next one. See ya!